I came back, and at the time I was staying with the family of my best friend. And when I came back, I found out that like they were basically kicking me out. I had nowhere to go, so I stayed in my car for about 2 months. It wasn't a horrible or a tragic or a traumatic event. It was actually very, very beautiful and eye-opening in a lot of ways. And it really pushed me to pursue my music a lot more. Because as soon as I came back too, I'd quit my job, and I was like, now that I had been in Georgia, I've been thinking about, okay, I could definitely make this work as a job for now. So with that in mind, I came back, and I'm in my car, so I'm even more motivated to go out and like get some gigs. As a musician, when you start getting gigs, it becomes easier to get more gigs because a lot of the times people will approach you in the middle of a gig and say like, hey, you know, you sound great, can you do this, can you play here, you know. So it really kind of took off from there, and then eventually I got to where I am now, and I'm not working, I'm paying all my bills. I'm actually making more money than I was when I was working in retail, which is a really cool thing to say for me.
So who inspires you musically?
It's hard to say what inspires me because in all reality, everything kind of does. When I was in 8th grade and I first started learning guitar, my teacher at the time actually knew guitar, my English teacher, and he gave me a bit of advice I've never forgotten. He said, learn everything you possibly can. I don't care if it's Avril Lavigne. He's like, learn it, because you'll learn something from it. But if I had to pick a specific group of individuals, probably number one is this Norwegian guy named Mikhail Paskalev. Shaky Graves. I absolutely adore Shaky Graves.
There's a part of your story that I really love that you just touched on with your 8th grade teacher, you said. And I just want you to highlight what was that important lesson or piece of advice that he gave you that still sticks with you to this day.
I'm also an artist, a writer, anything artistic I do. And my whole life, artistically, those things always come really naturally to me. And here's the issue, especially for musicians, if you're a naturally talented musician, it's so easy to bring your skill level from here to here, and then to get any higher you have to work hard, because it all just came naturally up to this point, and then everybody just kind of plateaus. Because if you want to get better than your natural skills take you, you actually have to put work into it. And I didn't do that as much as I should. When I was in my art class, I was painting, and none of my paintings were ever completely finished. They're always like half finished. I had a pretty good relationship with my art teacher at the time, but I put my painting up one day. It was like he just like rolled his eyes, and I was like, because I've always been like this kind of like careless kind of dude, I guess. I was just like, whatever, it's what I got, you know. He knew that it was okay for him to like, kind of call me out, and I would be okay with that. So he started telling me, he's like, you're so naturally talented. This is great. I wonder how good it would be if you actually tried, you know. And that really dug deep, because that's something I think, stuff like that, people know about themselves, but they don't think that anybody else does. You know what I mean? And he just saw right through me. And he'd listened to my CD, like I said, and he enjoyed it. And he said, what terrifies me is your the work ethic that you put towards your art is the same work ethic that you put towards your music. An opportunity can come tomorrow, and you're not going to be ready for it. And yeah, it really does. It sent chills to me, and I was just like totally blown away when he said it, and it was totally caught me off guard. But he was 100% right, and that totally, you know, changed my mind. I think if someone doesn't call us out on something, we let ourselves get away with it. And as soon as and that was it for me. He called me out, and I was like, oh, I need to try a little harder. So yeah, it's a huge piece of advice, and that's you know, something I think every artist needs to hear is work on your work ethic a little bit more, because it's what counts almost the most. Because even if you're the best at what you do, if you can't work correctly and put yourself out there correctly and consistently, you're not going to go anywhere. Like there's just no point.
And lastly, what advice do you have to other artists tapping into that work ethic part, but also advice to your younger self? Maybe advice to younger artists and to your younger self.
Keep each other calm. If you keep me present, I keep you centered. Oh, we'll keep each other strong.